Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a massive misconception, uncovering the real reason most AI initiatives end up crashing and burning. And I'm going to give you a huge hint right out of the gate. It is almost never the technology's fault. We constantly hear people complaining about models not being good enough or the algorithm being somehow flawed, but the truth is actually far more structural. You see, most AI projects don't fail because the model wasn't up to par. They fail because the organization itself simply wasn't ready to absorb it. Let's explore exactly why that happens and, more importantly, how you can avoid it. Section 1. The Pune Factory Illusion.
Okay, let's step out of the theoretical realm for a second and walk right onto the shop floor of a real-world manufacturing business. Picture this. You are the owner of an auto component company based in Pune. You've got a really solid, hardworking team of exactly 700 employees. Now, you've just returned from one of those high-energy industry conferences. You know the type, right? Where absolutely everyone is buzzing about AI, automation, and the future of work. Totally caught up in the very real potential of all this, you make a decisive move. You officially approve a brand new AI pilot program, specifically designed for quality inspection on your production line.
Let's trace how this actually plays out, because this exact cycle repeats itself in businesses all over the globe. Day 1, fantastic. The new cameras are installed on the shop floor, the vendor comes in, and the AI model is trained. By week 1, the excitement is literally off the charts. Everyone is just thrilled to be using this cutting-edge tech. But then we hit week 2, and those small, practical cracks start showing up. For instance, the natural lighting changes on the shop floor throughout the day, which suddenly triggers a bunch of false alerts. Because of those false alerts, your operators slowly start losing trust in the system. Meanwhile, a turf war breaks out. The quality team thinks IT owns the system, but IT is sitting there assuming the quality team is managing it. The momentum completely stalls out. And by week 4, without any grand announcement, everyone just quietly goes back to manual inspection. The pilot is dead.
Now, this brings us to a really crucial question about where the true blame actually lies here. When you look at that 4-week timeline, did the artificial intelligence itself actually fail? I mean, think about it. The cameras worked, the model identified anomalies just like it was trained to do. The tech did its job. Or did the organization fail to prepare for the reality of integrating AI into its daily workflow? Answering this completely reframes how we should be looking at digital transformation.
Section 2. The machine versus the factory.
To truly wrap our heads around what went wrong in Pune and what goes wrong in countless other corporate pilot programs, we need a total paradigm shift. Think about what happens when you install a traditional, physical machine on a production line. Buying it is just one tiny part of the whole shebang. You wouldn't just drop a heavy piece of equipment in the middle of a room and walk away. You have to train your operators. You have to write up the standard operating procedures, the SOPs. You need a plan for routine maintenance, you have to assign clear ownership, and definitively decide how success is going to be measured. Nobody expects a single piece of machinery to transform a factory all on its own. Well, AI is exactly the same. The AI model you purchase is simply the machine. But your organization? That is the factory where the machine operates. And if the factory isn't built to support the machine is useless.
Section 3. 5 hidden points of failure.
So, if the factory isn't prepared, where exactly do things break down when this shiny new machine arrives? There are 5 specific places where AI projects typically fall apart. The first hidden point of failure is ownership. We saw this perfectly in the Pune timeline. When a project is brand new, everybody wants a piece of the credit. But once that initial pilot hype fades and the vendor packs up and goes home, a vacuum appears. Everyone looks around wondering whose actual job it is to maintain the system, update it, and troubleshoot it every single day. Without clear accountability, the project just becomes an orphan.
The second pitfall is business value. This happens when a pilot is basically just designed as a science experiment. Sure, your pilot might perfectly prove that the camera tech works and can spot a scratch on a part. But it might completely fail to prove that identifying that scratch earlier actually solves a valuable business problem or saves the company money. If it isn't improving a specific business outcome, it's really just expensive tech theater.
Number 3 on our list is data readiness, and this one is incredibly common. In a lot of organizations, different departments are heavily siloed, working from totally different, disconnected spreadsheets. The fatal flaw here is expecting that just dropping an AI model into the mix will somehow act like a magic wand to fix all that messy, inconsistent data. AI needs clean, organized materials to work with. It cannot fix a fundamentally broken data culture on its own. The fourth point of failure involves your absolute most critical asset, your people. AI is really only as effective as the humans interacting with it. If employees on the shop floor, or really in any office, don't understand how the system is making its decisions, they simply won't trust the alerts it gives them. And when trust is gone, adoption quietly disappears.
They're just going to revert to the manual ways they know and trust, exactly like our operators did in Pune.
Finally, we have governance. Honestly, this might be the most ironic failure of the bunch. It happens when a team works so incredibly hard to get a pilot up and running that nobody actually pauses to plan for what happens if it succeeds. If you hit your targets, how are you going to scale it? How do you roll it out to other facilities? Without a governance plan, your big, successful project just gets stranded as a permanent, highly expensive, and very isolated experiment.
Section 4. The Readiness Checklist. Did you notice something fascinating about those 5 failures? Absolutely none of them were about the AI model itself. They were entirely about the organization around it. So, how do we fix the organization? Well, you have to run through this exact, actionable checklist before you even think about approving your next AI initiative. You need to ask yourself 5 things. First, who owns this by name? Not a department, a specific person. Second, what precise business outcome are we improving? Third, can we definitively trust the data we're feeding into this machine? Fourth, have we properly prepared the people who are going to work alongside it every day? And fifth, what exactly is our roadmap for what happens after the pilot succeeds?
Section 5. Building a ready organization.
This checklist has to be your ultimate filter. If you look at these questions and you don't hear immediately clear, confident answers from your leadership team, then that is your very first problem to solve. You shouldn't be out there shopping for better technology or some fancy new algorithm. You have internal organizational work to do first. I really want to leave you with this final powerful thought to apply to your own business. Companies don't create value from AI just because they bought a better model. They create value because they built an organization that was ready to use it. So the next time you find yourself tempted by the hype of a huge new technological breakthrough, I want you to ask yourself a somewhat provocative question. Are you simply buying a better machine and hoping for the best? Or are you actually doing the hard work to build a factory that is truly ready to use it? Think about that as you plan your next move. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.